All right, guys. So today we're going over Unit 4, Lesson 2, the business of livestock. So how livestock changed from domesticated animals to actually a business where some people, like ranchers, this is their full life, full business. So first we're going to talk about livestock terminology. Whenever I talk about livestock, think of like whenever you were little and you learned about barnyard animals you'd see on a farm or a barnyard. That's typically livestock. Livestock are either going to give us food or some sort of help, like a horse, to do an agriculture job. So livestock are classified in a lot of different ways: where they live, how they digest their food, by their sex, by how they're used. So first, it gives some general terminology, and these are really important to know, especially if you're going to be working in the livestock world or talking to somebody in the livestock industry. These are some basic terms that are going to make you seem a little bit more like you know what you're talking about. So some general terms: a breeding animal. That's just an animal used to produce offspring. So that's what, in a controlled way. So you breed that animal on purpose to get a product. So cattle are big breeding animals. There are people, they're called, they have breeding operations and they breed the cattle and to get calves, and then they sell the calves, and that's how they make a living. Dam, that is a female parent. Okay, and this is the same like whenever you're talking about any kind of pedigree, dogs, the mom basically is called the dam. And then I'm going to go down here. The sire is the dad. So sire is the male parent, dam is the mom. You need to know these for your quiz coming up. Flock, that's a group of certain species together. Sheep or chickens, they're in a flock. A herd is a group of single species of animals. Hoofed animals, cattle is a herd. Market animal, so that's a livestock animal that's raised to become food. So we have market cattle, market swine, which are pigs, market goats, market lambs, market chickens, market turkeys. Okay, these are all things that are commonly eaten in America. Now you go over to other countries and they do some other things, but in America, those are the common market animals. Litter, multiple of offspring produced at one birth, also called a brood. So some livestock animals that have litters: pigs are going to have litters. They have multiples. Cattle, they're usually going to have one. They can't have twins. It's pretty rare. Goats, they have twins on average, but we don't call it a litter typically. Sheep, same thing. So pigs are going to be the main ones that have a litter. All right, so let's talk about specific ones. Chickens and turkey. So this is going to be considered poultry. So if you go down the poultry aisle of your grocery store, you're going to see chickens and turkeys. So chick is a newly hatched chicken. Hopefully you know that. Broiler, that's a meat chicken. So broiler is for meat. Make sure you know that. A chicken that's 6 to 13 weeks old, and it's used for meat production. That doesn't seem very old, but these chickens grow really fast, and they can get really huge within 13 weeks. A pullet, which is a young female chicken. Hen is a female chicken over a year old. A cockerel is a male under a year, and a rooster is a male over a year, so a mature male. A poult is a young turkey. Domestic would say domestic turkey because there are still wild turkeys. A hen, which is an adult female turkey, and a tom is what we call an adult male. So in cattle, the scientific name of them is called bovine. Calf is just a young bovine. Heifer is a female that hasn't had a baby yet. That's a heifer. Cow is, once they've had a baby, they're considered a cow, a female. Steer is a castrated male. Okay, so steers are mostly what are produced for meat. Okay, they castrate them because it's going to make the meat more tender to get that testosterone out. A bull is a sexually mature male, so not castrated. Ducks and geese, yes, those are livestock as well. Not as popular in America, but still pretty popular. A drake is a male duck, just a duck, or they've been called a hen, is a female duck. Gander is an adult male goose, and just a goose is a female goose. Goats. Okay, a kid is a young goat, so we call them little kids. And what's kind of funny is whenever they're giving birth, we call it kidding. Wether, that's a castrated male goat. Again, these are what mostly are going to be for the market for eating. Doe is a female goat, also called a nanny. So you can call it a nanny goat or a doe goat. It's really preference on who's raising those animals. A buck or a billy is the mature male goat. So it'd be like the bull. And a wether is like a steer. Okay, let's go to pigs. Swine, that's just a name for pigs. Barrow, that's a young castrated male, so that's like a steer. Again, for meat purposes. Boar, that's a sexually mature male. Gilt, that's a young female that hasn't had babies yet. A hog is a mature swine that we call over 120 pounds. A sow is a mature female. Do not call it a sow. That is a sow. A pig that's had babies. Pig or piglet is a young swine, usually less than 120 pounds. You may say 120 pounds, that's pretty big. Typically, pigs that you're growing for meat, you're going to grow them to about 220, 230 pounds. Now, these sows that have babies, they can get up to like 400 pounds. They can be huge. All right, next we have sheep. Ovine, that's a scientific name for sheep, and they didn't have it on pigs, but pigs is porcine. All of these are going to end in "ine." Ewe, that's how you say that. Ewe is a female sheep. Lamb, that's a baby, that's a sheep less than a year old. Ram, that's a daddy sheep. And wether is the same as a goat, castrated male. Let's talk about horses, donkeys, and mules. So equine, scientific, again, we're ending in "-ine", so that's going to have the family that's got horses, donkeys, and zebras. Foal is a baby horse, and then we get specific on the sex of them. So a colt is a young male horse, and a filly is a young female. Gelding is a castrated male, like a steer. Pony and horse are going to depend on how tall they are. So a pony is less than 14.2 hands high. So we measure horses in hands. Hand is about 4.5 inches. So instead of saying this is so many inches tall, we do it by hands. Okay, so a pony is anything 14.2 hands less. Over that is considered a horse. A mare is an adult female. Stallion is an adult male. A draft horse, these are the big, huge horses that are used for heavy tasks like plowing. Clydesdales are really popular draft horses. If you don't know what a Clydesdale is, think of like some of the Budweiser commercials that are really popular. That have all the horses in them. They always have them on Super Bowl. Those are Clydesdales. Hand, there's that unit of measurement, about 4 inches. Donkeys have their own terms. Jenny is a female donkey and Jack is a male donkey. Mule is the offspring whenever you mix a horse and a donkey. And the cool thing about a mule is you will never get a purebred mule. So a mule cannot breed with another mule. It has to breed with a donkey or a horse. So that's kind of interesting. And a donkey is a domesticated equine used mainly as working animal, also called a burro. All right, then we have rabbits. A kit is a young rabbit, baby rabbit. Doe is a female, and a buck is a male. So those are kind of like deer. Llamas. Yes, llamas are livestock. Llamas we don't typically eat, but they are used as protection. So llamas, they don't really say much, but they can have this loud, excruciating scream whenever they see coyote or danger. So they're really good at warding off predators. That's why people have them in their herd. We have one that stays with our goats. So a cria is a young llama. Dam is a female. Stud is a male. And gelding, just like horse, is a castrated male llama. So those are the terms. Make sure you know those terms. Write them down and index cards, however you can remember them for the quiz. And those are good to know. Those are just the basic